competition still continues between Apple and Android as new technologies are being developed every day. So before I start my presentation, how many of you use Android phones? And how many of you use iPhones? It's almost like 50-50, but that's interesting because in 2013, according to research firm IDC, Android's operating system had a 78% share of all users globally, and Apple's iOS just had 18%. And in 2014, IDC predicts that Android will claim 80.2% of all users, and only 14.8% will be on Apple's iOS system. So why is it that Android's taking over our mobile industry? Today, I'm going to be comparing the differences between the price, wireless connectivity, battery life, storage capacity, camera quality, display, additional features, and built-in apps of the iPhone 6 and the Galaxy S5. So the first thing that comes to mind when looking at different phones is generally the price, and we're not all millionaires, so we're usually looking for something that's relatively low and reasonable in cost. So the iPhone 6 is at the starting price of $199 for their 16 gigabyte phone, and from there, as the gigabytes go up, the price also rises, going to $299 for their 64 gigabyte phone, and then $399 for their 128 gigabyte phone. And the Galaxy S5 is also on the market for a starting price of $199 for their 16 gigabyte phone. Now, without a contract, both phones are at a set price of $650. So setting the same price between the two phones definitely increases the competition between them, and it also causes for a tie for this round. Next is the wireless connectivity, which is basically just the different ways that the phone can connect to the internet. So the iPhone 6 uses the LTE connection, which is comparable to 4G, and it also uses Bluetooth and then wireless connection, which of course allows you to hook up to a router. And the Galaxy S5 uses all of these features, but also has an additional feature called the download booster, which allows you to hook up to the Wi-Fi and LTE simultaneously. So this is a bonus that the Galaxy S5 has, so once again they win this round. Next is the battery life, and this is also a very important factor because I'm sure nobody likes their phone dying during the middle of the day or having to charge it like 10 times a day. So the iPhone 6 has been predicted to last 10 hours on LTE, 11 hours on Wi-Fi, and then 14 hours of talk time. And the Galaxy S5 is predicted to last 10 hours of internet browsing, 12 hours of HD movie watching, and then 21 hours of talk time. And both phones are also predicted to last 10 days on standby, but the Galaxy S5 also has an ultra power saving mode, which allows up to 50% of better battery longevity. So once again, that's another bonus that the Galaxy S5 has, so they win this round. After that is the storage capacity, which is just how much storage each phone can hold. So the iPhone 6 has a maximum storage of 128 gigabytes. Then, of course, you can buy the 16 gigabytes and the 64 gigabytes. And the Galaxy S5, you can buy that with an internal storage of 16 gigabytes, and some companies offer the 32 gigabytes. But if you did want to expand that storage, you could buy a micro SD card, which allows you up to 128 gigabytes. So since they both have the capability of withholding the same amount of storage, they do tie on this round. Next is the camera quality. So the iPhone 6 has an 8 megapixel camera on the back, while the Galaxy S5 has doubled that with a 16 megapixel camera. And when comparing the front cameras, the iPhone 6 has a 1.2 megapixel camera, when the Galaxy S5 has a 2.0 megapixel camera. So the Galaxy S5 obviously produces clear photos from both the front and back camera, so it wins for this round again. Next is the display. So the iPhone 6 has a 4.7-inch screen size, while the Galaxy S5 has a 5.1-inch screen size. And that's just basically individual preference, because some people would rather have a larger phone, while others would rather have a smaller phone. But for the clarity of the display, the iPhone 6 has the 750 by 1334 pixelated screen, while the Galaxy S5 has the 1080 by 1920 pixelated screen. So it does have a clearer screen, so it wins for that aspect. Next are just some of the built-in apps that come with either phone. So these are the ones for the iPhone 6. And then these are the apps that come with the Galaxy S5. And as you can see, both of them come with a good variety of apps, and they both also have the ability to download more, so they tie on that aspect. And lastly are just some additional features that really contrast the two phones, and I think could help in deciding which phone to purchase. So the iPhone 6 has the FaceTime feature, which of course allows you to FaceTime or video chat with other iPhone users. And the iPhone 6 also has Siri, which allows for fast hands-free assistance. And the Galaxy S5 has been certified dust and water resistant. So where the iPhone users would have to buy the Life Proof, which are pretty expensive, the Galaxy users would not need this. In conclusion, debate still continues on whether the iPhone 6 or the Galaxy S5 is the better smartphone, but based off of the information that I gathered from various websites, the Galaxy S5 wins for the price, wireless connectivity, the battery life, the storage capacity, the camera quality, display, and additional features. Thank you.